Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today, tell you a little bit about what we've been doing. My name is William Harrington, founder, director of Harrington Systems Electronics and Sky Queensland. We run our businesses on a cattle station north of Richmond, about halfway between Townsville and Mount Isa. Before I get too much into it, I wanted to give you a bit of start my presentation with a story, basically about a young person with a passion for agriculture and an idea. This idea has the potential to make a big difference to their industry. One of the key requirements for bringing an idea to market nowadays is connectivity. Now, if that person was in the city, it wouldn't be a problem. They have that many different options, different suppliers, different pricings available to them. But if they're based in a regional area, it's a totally different story. They're behind before they even start. In many instances in regional Australia, that connectivity is limited to satellite communications. These satellite communications, whilst good, have a lifetime of 15 years, and the technology in that satellite when it went up isn't going to change for the next 15 years, which means that what we get now is what we're going to get. It doesn't matter that the rest of the world's moved on. As a technology company ourselves, connectivity plays a key role in our business. We're passionate about regional Australia and believe it's really, really important that we are based where we are, because that means we're actively involved in the industry and we don't want to lose touch with our market. For our business, when we started, satellite technology or 3G wasn't good enough. We couldn't get the data volumes that we needed, and it was just too expensive if we were to get them. The irony of this situation is that there is high-speed connectivity in almost all these regional towns in the form of fibre optic cables, but it's so cost prohibitive to connect to it that it's essentially unavailable. So no one was going to solve this problem for us, so we decided to solve it ourselves. In 2016, we formed a company called Sky Queensland, dedicated to try and solve this problem for our regional, or our local area of Richmond in northwest Queensland. We were able to secure the local council as a key customer, which gave us the confidence then to invest in actually connecting into that fibre optic cable. And now we provide connectivity to most of the cattle stations in Richmond and many stations in the surrounding shires, covering an area of about 20,000 square kilometres. We've been very fortunate as a technology company. We had the skills to be able to do this. Most people don't. So over the last 12 months, we've been working with MLA on a MDC project based at Caulfield Downs Station, which is about 100 kilometres south of Richmond. There's 8 people living on the station, 5 adults and 3 children. These children are attending school via School of the Air, with the owners of the business residing in Sydney. So connectivity plays a key role in the operation of their business. To provide this connectivity, Sky constructed a wireless network of about approximately 120 kilometres, and as a result of this network, provide speeds to Caulfield Downs of up to 60 megabit a second both ways. As part of connecting Caulfield Downs, we deployed a data capture tool that allows us to generate statistics on the usage of their internet. There's an immediate increase in the volume of internet that was being used from the moment we switched the internet connection on, with their monthly usage almost increasing tenfold straight away, going from about 20 gigabytes a month to 200 gigabytes a month. And this is increasing every month. It just demonstrates the need for connectivity. As you can see from the previous slides, video streaming, we'll be talking about it all day, video streaming and social media are a significant contribution to the connectivity, but I would argue that social media and video streaming services are just as important as core business services to retaining staff, and it's as important as good accommodation and air conditioning. how else are we going to attract people into the industry from the city if we can't even provide what they deem such a basic service? They would view, without this type of connectivity, a lot of people would view it as a step backwards, leaving the city. And going forward, I strongly feel that employees that don't provide connectivity are going to find it harder and harder to attract quality staff. Social media also plays a key role in the dissemination of new ideas through the industry as well. This installation at Caulfield Downs has given them the confidence to invest in new technology and integrate it into their business. Some of the examples here include an internal farm Wi-Fi network between all their major tanks that allows them also to have Wi-Fi or internet access and mobile calling through Wi-Fi calling at a lot of locations throughout the property that they would not have any possibility of getting any other way. They've installed some of our UC tank monitoring systems as well that allows them up to the minute level readings of the amount of water in their tank. It's made a massive difference to their daily business. They've also installed live video cameras so they can actually watch the cattle having a drink. There's other examples of this being used with, for example, they've got Wi-Fi down the cattle yards now, so if they've got a sale, or they have someone interested in their cattle, they can get on their phone and do a live video call and walk around the yard and show the perspective via the cattle in real time, something that you couldn't do any other way. Before Wi-Sky provided this connection to Caulfield Downs, their connectivity was a mix of SkyMuster and XG, but both systems were not adequate to meet Caulfield Downs' data usage requirements. Before I go too much further, I do want to emphasise that SkyMuster is part of the solution, but unless it can keep up with the increase in data usage every month, it's going to be holding us back. However, as shown by NBN's own September usage report, the average customer in Queensland now is using 240 gig a month, and the biggest SkyMuster plan that I could find was only 120 gig during peak hours, which is, from what I can see, 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. So half the data requirements of SkyMuster as to the average user in Queensland. This data usage is increasing at between 30 and 60% every year. And I see that as our biggest challenge. How are we going to keep up with the rest of the world with their data consumption, or we're going to be held back? That also being said, but the model that we've used for Wi-Sky with these microwave links won't work in every situation either. So it's a matter of selecting the right technology for the job. During our conversations with Caulfield Downs, it became absolutely obvious to them that connectivity was not something that was nice to have. It was essential to their business. It was essential for them to be able to attract staff and maintain staff. The families of the staff members that are living there are happier because they have access to same services as they would have in a major city. The education has improved. The children went from having been able to access about 50% of their on-air lessons because of the troubles they were having with their connections to about 98% of them. It's also allowed it's also allowed more training as well. So online training courses are available, and the governess there teaching the kids has the option now to be able to do a remote university course, which you can watch the lectures in live streaming. It's enabling the building of skills, which is critical to improving growing the red meat industry. So, in 2016, in 2016, I was fortunate enough to receive a Nuffield scholarship to study the adoption of technology in the beef industry, and it became immediately obvious that connectivity was what was holding us back. As we've seen this week, the amount of technology available to us as beef producers is increasing. It's amazing, even compared to 6 or 12 months ago. All this exciting technology, but they're all reliant on one thing, and that's connectivity. We can't use any of them without a decent internet connection. Connectivity breaks the tyranny of distance. Connectivity allows people to communicate their ideas and connectivity contributes to bringing new people into the industry and new ideas. Connectivity is an enabler. To move the red meat industry forward, it is up to all of us to demonstrate the value of connectivity and help people understand how important it is in what we're doing. We struggle a lot as our business with the low population density and large distances. And we have people there that say, well, why do I want that when my $30 Sky Muster connection is adequate? So that's a big challenge we have. We need to increase technical literacy. And all this is slowly happening, and through groups like Better Internet for Ridge and all of the Berg Group. And we look forward to working with organisations like MLA in the future to try and do a little bit to solve this problem. Hearing that our connectivity solution has allowed children to get a better education and seeing the faces on people on a station when they press play on Netflix for the first time, it's been very exciting. It's been a very, very rewarding business, rewarding exercise, helping them grow their businesses. Before I finish, I want to stress that we aren't really, as primary producers, aren't asking for something special. We're just asking for an equivalent service. Thank you.